The 1990 Southwood Knight football team created history this season with a record number of wins and a first ever bid at the Class A state title. Hi, I'm Tracy Ball. For the next several minutes, you'll see highlights from the state final game, as well as those events leading up to and following the Knights' trip to the Dome. This is where it all began 28 years ago. Coach John Livergood originated the Southwood football program in 1962 with makeshift equipment and a group of ambitious athletes.
The schools weren't complete. We didn't have any, not even a practice field. We just went into a field out back of the school and used that for practices. We didn't have goalposts or sleds. Dressing facilities weren't established. We had to wait until school started before we started the program. We did play an abbreviated schedule of 4 games that year.
Though Livergood suffered through a rough first season, he had established a team from which to build. Later in 1968, Felix Chambers put the program on a winning road with only 2 losing seasons out of 17. However, through it all, 1990 has proved to be the year to remember. The thrill and excitement of the Knights competing at the state level overflowed into the entire community.
Jimtown looks thoroughly disorganized. They are in a complete state of disarray. They call a timeout. Thanks a lot, Jimmies.
Wednesday, November 21st, a pep session was held at the high school to pump up the Knight team.
Southwood goes for the 2-point conversion. A trip to the Superdome hinges on this play. Campbell's back. Duncan, he's in, touchdown! Ball, Kryn, Shinniger, Harvey, and the cheerleaders now with Give Me a K. A big thank you to all the elementary students for really firing the crowd up. Do want to call to your attention that we have received this week flowers from Wabash High School, from O.J. Neighbors, from Whitco, from Northfield, and a bouquet even from Marion High School wishing us good luck at the Dome. There are signs, one in the front hall from fellow conference member Manchester, one out in the yard in front of the school from Rochester. So our fellow conference teams from the Three Rivers Conference are backing us in Indianapolis.
Dan Ginnon got the entire crowd involved in spirited chants.
Howdy, 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 ho! Howdy, 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 ho! We're going down to the Dome. Are you ready? Are you ready for some football? Are you ready for some cougar whooping? Cougar whooping, cougar
We've been working real well this week. We've had great practices. These guys are ready to go down to the Dome and represent Wabash County and Southwood and the Three Rivers Conference and be the 5th team in the Three Rivers Conference to win a state championship. Before I introduce the players, I'd like the football staff to come out. These guys put in a lot of hours of work. Coach Seidel, our defensive coordinator. Coach Sheff, defensive backs and receivers. Coach Preston. Coach Snyder. Coach Cole, our freshman coach. Coach Livergood, our head scout and 8th grade coach. And Coach Wente, our 7th grade coach. This time I'd like the seniors to come out. The juniors play a very important role in our success. There's a lot of juniors that start, and we could not win without the juniors. And I think more so this year than any other year in the past, our sophomores have played a very valuable role to our team. This is truly a team effort. We have starters in every class, and we're very appreciative of the sophomores.
These teachers at Southwood be making some funky jive noise about this big dome football team. I don't know what the deal is, but first we be having Stevie Kiefaber. Mr. Kiefaber knows haircuts.
When did this hair thing start?
Last year, it was sort of an unspoken agreement that if we got down there with the football team, I was going to get it cut. This year, my 3rd period geometry class, a couple of them, the football team had short haircuts and unique designs, and I was challenged, and I accepted the challenge. And so Saturday morning after the game, I went and had this haircut styled instead of letting them style it for me on Monday.
And then there's Mrs. Gutzwiller. Baby, she knows figures. Then we be having long, tall Coach Law. Coach Law knows basketball. And Mrs. Downey. She knows cliches. Miss McClellan knows running, 26 miles worth. And rumor has it Dr. Dawson knows cougars. However, Mr. Livergood knows knights. Our old Mr. Hanlon knows hurdles. Mr. Bosler does know gymnastics. Mr. Oglesby, he knows everything.
it been this week trying to teach classes to a group so fired up?
It's not been too bad. Today's been the worst, and it's been exciting. This is like a dream come true.
Mrs. Warren is the history and geography teacher for Southwood High School, and we want to talk to you, Mrs. Warren, about what it's like having a team at state. You've been here quite a few years. Have you ever seen anything like this before?
No, it's absolutely thrilling. There's this excitement in the air that you can't express. When you go to the office and you see a line of people waiting to get tickets, and everyone's got a beam on their face, and you see flowers on the desk there, and everyone dressed up in their colors and wearing corsages and balloons and all that. It's just absolutely fantastic.
Can you tell me a little bit about what it's been like getting the team ready for the game this week? What are some things that the cheerleaders have done?
First of all, it's been really exciting, and I'm glad I can be a part of it. Things that we've done a lot of decorating. Last week we made a breakfast for them, and every day we've been giving them candy and just doing things like that. We make up tags for them to wear every day, and there's a lot of little things like that for them.
Despite the long bus ride to Indy, the players were anxious to practice in the Dome Wednesday night. The size of the dome didn't seem to bother the team as they donned their gear and headed for the field. This gave them an opportunity to experience different kind of playing surface, as well as a chance to run their plays indoors instead of outdoors. 4 pro scouts attended practice in search of prospects, while Southwood dignitaries checked out the press box. And Don Griffith, team videographer, peered through his viewfinder at the action below. Everyone involved was gearing up for Friday's big game. Their brief hour on the field went smoothly as the night team worked together, efficiently passing, kicking, and blocking. Near the end zone, Coach Dave Snyder worked with the linemen, preparing them for the opposition, while the coaches thoughtfully planned their game strategies. Game day dawned early as the Knights headed for the Hoosier Dome, complete with police escort and rowdy fans. On the way down, the team stopped for a dandy breakfast. I'm glad I wasn't at the end of that line. Back at the school, the students loaded onto 4 buses for the trip to the Dome.
It's wonderful. I'm so excited. This is great. This is awesome. It's big. It's neat.
Wild. It's so big.
Great. Great? I know you want to get out and yell. Good luck to you. Have a good day, okay? Thank you.
The general consensus of the feeling then with the team and with the fans on the way down here?
Well, the kids, the player-wise anyway, they've been pretty loosey-goosey about the whole thing. I haven't really put a thumb on them all year. They have been pretty much the same demeanor and temperament the entire season, as far as, you know, from my perspective anyway. They've just been pretty calm. Let's just go play. You know, we're here. Let's do our best job. The fans, on the other hand, have been completely spastic. And today, just walking around outside, I had to take the ticket report to the IHSA this morning, and I walked through our people, and they were wild. They were just absolutely wild. It's one of the greatest things I've ever been a part of.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Tracy.
Tom Finnickle, Athletic Director for Southwood High School. Bill, can you tell us what your position is with the team and how you've helped prepare them for state?
Well, as far as the state, Tracy, it's been a very hectic week, okay? A lot of media, a lot of press, a lot of things we have to do coming down to the Dome. Just a lot of things that are different in a normal week, and it's been very tough to stay focused on typical pregame, meaning Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday type strategy.
Go Big Red! Your son's a key player on our team. What's it been like having him at home all week?
He's been pretty mellow before this game. I don't know how to read that.
Go Big Red! 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 I'm here with the man of the hour, Coach Dave Wilhelm of the Southwood Knights. Coach, how's your team looking today?
Well, we've had a great week of practice, and I think we're ready to play. We're tired of talking about it. We want to get the pads on and go out there and hit somebody.
South Decatur has a pretty good passing offense. How are we prepared to handle that?
They do. They have a very nice quarterback. We expect to show them some different defensive coverages, put some pressure on him, give him some different stunts inside, some blitzes and things hopefully they won't be able to pick up. But we know they'll complete a few passes, but what we're concerned with is that they don't complete the long pass and that we vary our defense enough that he can't really get comfortable back there.
How do you think the crowd here is going to affect the players?
They're going to be ready. I tell you, just walking through the gate over there was great when we heard our people start yelling. We got a tremendous crowd, and I tell you, it's really going to be exciting.
Okay, thanks a lot, Coach.
Thank you.
I'm with the principal of Southwood High School, Mr. Tom Mitchell. What's it been like preparing the school to come to a state game?
Well, it's been very exciting. This is something that we've looked forward to. We missed out on last year by a game. Everybody has committed themselves this season to trying to get here.
From an administrator's point of view, what are the advantages of a team going to the state finals?
Well, it's the bringing together of the school and community. Financially, it's a disaster. I mean, you lose money that way. But this is a chance for everybody in the school and the community to get together on a single cause, single issue, unite, join up, and it causes good feelings for everyone involved.
What about the unity or the support we've seen from even opposing schools such as Northfield and Oak Hill?
Well, we think it's terrific that some of our traditional rivals have thrown their support behind us and have made the trip down here, sent flowers, sent cards and letters, telegrams. And as you can hear from the background, we've got quite a following too.
Get him, big guy. Hey, these guys are all right. Good.
Inside the locker room, emotions run high as the Knight team prepares to meet the South Decatur Cougars. The coaches make their final comments before the game, helping the team mentally to meet the challenge ahead.
Mark, Smith, Blockier, Story, and Cox, Glover, and Duncan punting. The kickoff return team, Cox, Story, and Smith.
You got excited when you walk out there and hear those people yelling for you. There's nothing I can say to get you ready. Now, we got to field the ball. Their kicker's not a real deep kicker. He may put it on the ground. The people that are around the ball, before you turn and block, make sure we got the ball. The nearest three people ought to go to the ball, check to make sure we've got it, then turn and block. Now, we don't want to give up anything easy. So early in the game, make sure you keep everything in front of you. Don't take any chances on the hits or the fader or out, the short patterns where you're going to overrun somebody and give him a big gain. Just keep it in front of you, make the play. We'll start putting pressure on him as we get into the game plan. Offensively, we've got to hang on to the ball. Don't run with it till you get it.
48 minutes.
Right. No matter what the score is, I don't care if we're 2 touchdowns up or 2 touchdowns down, the game's not over. We can't relax if we get ahead, we can't get down if we get behind. I know from last week that we were able to come back against any odds. So that doesn't concern me. What concerns me is getting ahead and then relaxing. You got 4 quarters, guys. 4 quarters. So don't try to do it all at once. Take it slow. Do it gradually. Let's take control of the game gradually.
Let's put each other down. Let's pick each other up.
Oh, and everybody in here. Go, guys. We're a team.
Guys.
Go! Everybody's down. Everybody down on the Okay, it's our prayer. Lord, we thank you for this season. We thank you for each member of this team and the efforts that they've put forth. Thank you for each coach on this staff and everyone that's associated with our team. Just thank you for the opportunity to compete today. Pray that we give 100%. Help us control ourselves at all times. Keep this game injury-free. Guide us each day. Help us to accept the results of this game with a positive and a good attitude. Help us each day of our lives. In your Son's name we pray. Amen.
Good to see you guys. Let's go.
We got about 5. We still got 5. But...
Go, get a seat. All right? You understand what I'm saying? All right? They're going to come out and run exchange round right away. Exchange or fade. All right? They're going to do exchange or fade right away. We got to be ready. All right? There's several things that got to take place. First of all, the team that goes out there and gets used to the surrounding, gets used to the feeling, it's going to be the team that has an advantage. All right? If he didn't have butterflies, he shouldn't be here. But this is the reason you play football. This is the reason we started weights right after the season last year. To be here. To be here, we're here. Now we got to take care of business. I'm not satisfied with just being here. All right? We came here with a purpose. That's to win the ball game. That's to win the ball game. All right? Same things go. Every day we talk about we got to be physical. We got to hit. I didn't say cheat, but I said we got to get after him. We got to get after him from the start. We always talk about when we face a good quarterback. What do we got to do? We got to knock him on his butt. We got to change his throwing lane. We got to change his throwing path. And we got to intimidate his receivers. That doesn't change today. That doesn't change today. You guys know what happened at Frontier. We hit the quarterback third play of the game. He get, what, 22 yards? We got to put the quarterback down. We got to hit him. We got to get him riled. We got to change his motion. Seniors up front. Let's go.
Go seniors!
Seniors. Come on, baby. Let's go. Cool. Look at one another. You got us here. Now, the first thing I want to tell you is you got to relax and look at our keys and execute what we're supposed to do. But I got one thing to do, guys. I got one thing. Kick.
to the game, Coach Wilhelm had advised the team captains to receive the ball should they win the coin toss. And that's just the way the game began. The 3,000 or more Southwood fans who attended the game cheered wildly as the Knight team took the field. For the first time in Southwood history, the Knights were competing for the Class A state championship title. A culmination of months of practice was about to be put to the test. In early August, the thought of competing under the dome was a mere vision for these 42 ambitious players and their dedicated coaches. Through hard work and determination, that vision had become a reality.
Split to the right is Brent Wente. A wing to the right is Joe Duncan. Under center is Campbell. Waits for the snap. Now in motion goes Duncan. And left side to Glover across the 43 up to the 45-yard line. And he's brought down there by a host of South Decatur tacklers. It'll be 2nd and 5. That's a gain of 5. And quickly out of the huddle comes the Knights again. Split right is Joe Duncan. I formation behind Campbell. Campbell now in motion goes Duncan. Campbell pitches right side across the 45 to the 50. Breaks loose a tackle at Sequoyah to the 45, almost to the 45, 43-yard line into South Decatur territory. That's a first down. They'll move the chains. And so far, Coach, they're just running the ball at will.
Right, they're moving them off the line of scrimmage real good. They got him in tight on the isolation play with Glover and come back with a pitch sweep to Sequoyah to our near side.
Split left is Wente. Under center, Glover. In motion now goes Duncan. Glover hands to Sequoyah, off tackle right side, gets up to the 40 and is met by about 3 South Decatur players. Gets across the 40 to about the 39. It'll be a gain of 3. and it's a boot kick that's hit by one of the up men. It went right into the leg of one of the South Decatur up men and recovered by Southwood at the 50-yard line. Chris Lane intercepted by South Decatur up to the 35-yard line and brought down.
Calling 7-16, I'm with Donna Wilhelm, wife of our coach. How do you think Coach is feeling right now?
Oh, I think he feels like we can come back and do it. I think they'll go back and they'll regroup and they'll think it over and they'll come out and we'll be okay.
What's he saying to him in the locker room? Do you have any idea?
No, I have no idea.
How about the crowd around you? Do they seem to be keeping their spirits pretty high?
I think they are. I talked to someone down between, there's a reserve group between us and the rest of our fans, and they said that they're yelling and we're yelling, but we're not together. It's real hard. We've had a wonderful turnout, I think.
Yes, great. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm with Mike Campbell, the father of our quarterback and kicker, Mike Campbell. How do you think Mike's feeling right now?
I think they're feeling a little down right now because of the 2 quick scores. You know, we've had a fumble, a couple of fumbles, which we haven't had all year. But I think the kids are going to believe in themselves and come out fired up and ready to go.
As a team, do you think they can make the comeback? Do you think that the crowd can rally them?
I think so, because I think the kids believe in themselves, and I'm sure the coaches are going to tell them to believe in themselves.
Okay, thank you. Today's game.
Coming back! Yeah, coming back!
Are you going to rally the Knights to a win?
Yes, sir. Got it.
And posters in the locker room and all over the school, things like that. And last night, before the game, they made sure every boy got a telephone call with a cheer over the phone.
How do you think the crowd responds to the cheerleaders today?
Real well. It's hard to hear. It's really hard to hear, but I think they're doing good.
Okay, thank you. Bonnie Fleming.
You need to keep going, you know?
Despite setbacks in the first half, the Knight fans maintained confidence in their team and believed our luck would soon change.
And Brent Wente will kick off to start the second half. Triple receiver standing at the 10, a little squib kick goes up to the 20, picked up at the 25, inside to the 30, hit hard is Schaefer carrying the ball, and he got waylaid. I believe Joe Duncan was in on that tackle.
Number 10.
Number 10 was the tackler, Jared White.
Yeah, the free safety.
And he just
nailed it.
Cleaned his clock. So it'll be first down and 10 for South Decatur from their own 32-yard line to start the second half. Sean Blake is the quarterback. He'll send Parker to the right and Barrett to the left.
It's unusual. Barrett hadn't caught a pass yet, and he's the leading pass receiver.
There goes Lane in motion out of the backfield to the right. Blake waiting for the snap. He's going to, on a reverse to Schaefer, and is tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. Coming from the left side was Scott Griffiths. And he read that beautifully, Coach, and tripped him up behind the line of scrimmage.
Sure did. He went a crossbuck action to the tailback, and he kind of got his ankle hurt there. Strader's coming out with a little limp.
So it's a loss of 3, and will be second down and 13. The ball marked right on the 30-yard line. Parker comes to the left. Barrett to the right. In a wishbone right now, and Lane will move out of that to the right. Blake will drop straight back, quickly throws, complete at the 40. Oh, is gone. They'll never catch Parker. Never catch you. 40. Never catch Parker. He's the fastest. Never catch you. Touchdown, South Decatur. Let's go down to Tim Rush. He's got Mike Campbell with him. Tim?
Mike, it seems like really just a lot of missed opportunities. I mean, the opportunities were there, but things just didn't go right.
Well, yeah, in the first half, we had 3 real nice drives, and 2 of them got stopped on clipping penalties, which were on the line of scrimmage, and the referees called a clip. And we scored a touchdown on our second possession, and the first and third were killed on clips, and that really took a lot of air out of our sails.
Even though it's not the ending that you wanted, this has got to be a season to be proud of.
Oh, I'm really happy with the season we've had. The team grew. We really worked hard. And on that last drive, we scored a touchdown. We decided that we wanted to end it on a positive note so the younger kids would know something positive for the end of the game to start next year.
Presentation of the Class 1A runner-up trophy to Southwood High School. Now we can have your attention to the 40-yard line on the south side of the field.
What can you say about the game?
Well, we didn't play to our potential, but we didn't go out easy.
Were the Cougars tougher than you thought?
I don't think they were any tougher than we thought. I just don't think we were prepared to play in the dome.
But you guys have nothing to be ashamed of. You played a great game and you're runner-up in the state. That's better than Southwood's ever had in any history.
Good point.
Thanks, Mike. We had a really good start. Were the Cougars tougher than we thought they would be, or was it just, like you said, a matter of just some of our plays not coming off as planned?
Well, I don't know if they were really tougher than we thought they would be. I mean, when you have the turnovers to go against us, the fumbles, the interceptions, not necessarily bad balls, I'm just saying interceptions, when all of the breaks go against you and they get them all, okay, then I don't care what you are, that's tough on you. You can't afford to give up all that stuff. I think if you really look back, you're not going to find very many times that they got the ball and actually drove, boom, and beat us. Now, one time, about the first score, maybe they drove, but at the same time, we missed a couple sacks where we thought they had guy in containment. I mean, there's just a couple little things that happen, and I don't think they can play us like that and never hold or never do any of this, but that's the way it goes. And if you don't get it, or if we get that sack, you know, it's 1st and 30 or 35 one time. Instead, it's almost a first down. There's 30 yards. We're up. They're down. You know, we get the ball back. We go down and score 14-0 instead of 8-7. Could be a whole new ball game. Totally.
I thought probably the key to the game was when we had 7-0. We had the ball about the 22-yard line and had a 7-8 yard gain to put it on like the 14. They called clipping on us. And then we turned around, I think, fumbled it 2 plays later. And it's too late to guess. I mean, if you're ahead 14-0, it might be a different ball game. We gave up several big plays, and they created them. Quarterback is probably as good as they said he was. Quarterback, they said, is probably one of the top 3 in the state, and he probably was. Okay, so, you know, I don't think, you know, we told our kids we didn't have anything to be ashamed of. We got down here. It's the first time we're down here. The only thing we want to do is make sure we make them a commitment to come back.
You get a big play like the fumble bouncing right up to you and you go. I mean, that's the kind of spark that you need, and one team is going to go down a little bit and the other one picks up, and that's really the difference in the speed factor there.
Did you feel like your kids had a letdown after that?
Yeah, sure. Second quarter, we weren't in the game the second quarter. Then, of course, we needed to come out in the third quarter and do what they did. They just made the plays they had to make, and I give them all the credit in the world for doing that. And I thought their offensive line did a real good job pass blocking. I thought we'd be able to put a little more pressure with our just our four-man rush, but their offensive line handled the four-man rush real well, a little bit better than we anticipated. And we had some pressure with our blitzes and stunt package, but I thought we'd do a little bit better with our basic four-man rush.
Coach, looking back on the season, is this something that you expected from this team?
I'm not saying I could expect it when we first started early in the year because we had so many question marks. We got you don't expect a sophomore to play both ways at tackle all year. You don't expect a sophomore to play both ways at safety. We had a lot of holes to fill when we started the year, and we were able to do that. And we kept getting better and better. So as the season progressed, I thought we had a real good opportunity to get this far. But we had some tough games along the way. And
Okay, today the loss seems rough, but you have to remember that you're runner-up in the state. And how's that going to feel to look back on for your senior year?
Doesn't feel too good right now, but it probably will a couple of weeks down the road.
Okay, thanks, Tim. And is playing in the Dome going to be a pretty memorable moment of your senior year?
Most definitely. It's probably going to be right up next to graduation.
Okay, thanks, Mike.
It was really a neat experience coming out and playing for the Knights, and the people were better than what I expected, and I just loved it to death.
When you first started the season, did you think that you'd end up in the Hoosier Dome?
After last year, nobody thought we'd do anything because we lost Weaver and Clark, or 250-pound tackles, and Shane Farr. Everybody's looking, as us as well. They might go even 4-4 or whatever. And as the season progressed, we saw we had some potential, and Mike and Troy and John came on, and John and Andy Marks and Scott Griffith and first-year player Chad Dennison and Ryan Brainerd. They were all underclassmen playing line basically in their first varsity season, and I was the only senior on the line, so I kind of helped them along, and then they came on great. It's unbelievable how well they did.
As a graduating senior, what kind of advice do you have for those linemen that'll be up next year?
Never give up. Work as hard as you can because that's what we did the last 2 years, and look what it's got us.
Okay, thanks, Marshall. Marshall Jones. What about the fans and the support you've gotten? Did that help throughout the game today?
Oh yeah, the fans have been terrific. We haven't. Before last year, we didn't usually have very many fans at the game, and if you did, you wouldn't hear them that much. But we have the great kids come up, and all kinds of people support us. The other schools support us, and there were a lot of fans out there. A lot of people wearing red, and that helps a lot.
Okay, thanks, Brent. Do you think that the coach was pretty hard on you guys this season?
Not more than usual now. I think we were a little bit better team than last year because we were tough at all the positions.
How did it feel when he came out on the field today and saw all those red and white fans?
It was real good to see that we had such a good following, finally. I mean, we've had it this year, but previous years it hasn't been that great.
Do you think this will help boost the morale of the community and keep them following Southwood?
I hope so.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Do you think playing in the Dome provided different conditions than on the outdoor field?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. The surface was a lot harder. The ball, you never knew what it was going to do. It bounced in a lot of different ways. But both teams had the same advantages and disadvantages. They just got the breaks.
Did the fans help keep you going during the second quarter?
Oh, yeah. The fans were great. Our fans have been great all year.
Are you planning to play again next year then?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so you'll be back to what about some of the other players on the team? Do you think this has created some morale for them to return?
Everybody come back down here. Everybody's going to come back.
Okay, thanks, Andy. Saturday morning, I'm with Ed Sheff, the assistant coach of the Southwood Knights. For the plays that they usually execute are working as usual yesterday?
Well, yesterday, with the spread offense that South Decatur used, it forced us to widen out our outside linebackers and cover the flat pass a little bit more. But then if we went to one coverage, they were responsible for the second receiver a lot of times. And I thought that our defensive scheme worked well. You know, we just gave up a couple big plays on defense. And, you know, in that situation, South Decatur executed and we didn't.
Did you expect to see this kind of performance from the team when you started coaching them at the beginning of the year?
Well, Coach Wilhelm said to me, you know, when sectional play, said, did you really think that we'd be this good at this point in the season? I said, there were a couple question marks. Last year we lost a couple big linemen, and we thought that if we could fill those holes that we'd be very successful. And I thought that the linemen that came in and filled those holes did a very nice job. And we had one position to fill in our defensive secondary, and Jared White was a sophomore, came in and did that rather well. And so, you know, I wasn't really surprised that we got that far after we got into the season, because I thought those kids stepped in and did a very fine job.
First runner-up in the state, and that's a pretty good claim for Southwood.
Yes, I thought that getting to the Dome was a major accomplishment, and the Fort Wayne Journal-Gazette said that the dream had ended, you know, and a loss. Well, I'm not sure that the dream has ended. You know, the fact that we made it to the Dome, and last year we made it to the semi-state, I think the kids at Southwood have a lot to work for, you know, and the dream will continue for all small schools in this type of format, this tournament play. You know, all the kids have the same opportunity in the state now at single A, and I think that we will have a good opportunity in the future.
Okay, thank you. How do you feel about being first runner-up in the state?
It feels great. I think it'd feel a lot better if we could have got state, but I guess someone had to win, someone had to lose, and it just happened we lost.
Okay, thanks, Don. Greg, you had a pretty hard job yesterday. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
I didn't get to play a whole lot, but when I played, I got to play more offense than defense. But I was in on that last touchdown. It was pretty fun.
How'd it feel to be in on the last touchdown of the game?
It was all right, but it'd been better if we were winning.
All right, you're a senior this year then?
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say to the upcoming players for next year's team?
Just work hard, I guess.
Okay, thanks. How does it feel to be first runner-up in the state?
I'm glad we had the challenge. I'm glad we've made it as far as we have. I'm proud of my teammates, and I'm glad we've been able to have the opportunity to play this way.
Do you think playing in the Hoosier Dome has brought some big fame to Southwood, and maybe some more people will be thinking of playing football for the team?
I hope so. Right now it's self-pride, and I'm glad we could share it with everybody. It's good experience for the freshmen, and it's good for the school.
Okay, thanks, Troy. Troy Schaefer of the Southwood Knights.
This time we'd like the team captains to present the semi-state and state runner-up trophies for permanent display in the trophy case to Southwood principal Mr. Tom Mitchell.
The most important thing I want to do is thank these guys behind me for taking us on this ride this year.
I can't help but think that all the players that have participated with us for the last 20-some years are a part of our success today. And I really believe that. You don't just become successful overnight. It takes a lot of work, a lot of planning, a lot of people donating their time and effort, a lot of parents driving kids to and from practice, a lot of sweat and tears and blood. And I think we've had that here for the last 20 years, and that's what has allowed us to get as far as we have gotten this year. And I think we do have a chance to get back to the Dome. But it won't happen by accident. It's going to happen it'll happen because people continue to donate their time and efforts, because kids continue to work hard and to pay the price for success. Success just doesn't come accidentally. There's a lot of work that goes into it, but I think when you get done with it, it's well worth the effort. And sometimes the successes are not always measured on the scoreboard, because I've seen a lot of kids in our community grow and develop and mature into very responsible citizens and adults, and I think that's probably the bottom line. You know, how well do these kids go out into the community and conduct themselves as adults and human beings in our society? And I think we're really building towards that effort. I would like now to just open up the mic. First of all, I'd like to have the captains come up and just let them express anything that they would want to express at this time, and then we'll go start with the seniors. Anybody seniors after the captains that want to say anything.
I've really had a great time, and I think I speak for all of us in saying that this has been a great experience, and I'll remember this all my life. And I'd like to thank you all for coming to the game.
I think if anybody out there can find a reason not to be proud of these guys that haven't been watching this team, these guys have all done a great job. I'm proud of all of them freshmen. They come out there and work hard. Sophomores, juniors, seniors, all of them. I want to thank the coaching staff. I want to thank Mr. Livergood for getting us started. I just want to thank everybody.
I don't know, on the way home last night, I was thinking what I was going to say this morning. I guess that's usual. But we didn't win the game, but we're not losers. If you look back at Rochester, we were down. What was it, 14-14, or was it tied? I can't remember, but it was a tough game. We came back and we pulled through and we won that game. Next week, we played North Miami, probably the hardest physical game we played all year. And we played as a team, and we kept North Miami's statistics. We cut them in half that game. And I was looking back through the season. We're not losers. We had to be winners. Excuse me.
Every Tuesday night, if we didn't get our lasagna, we were upset. So that's one thing we look forward to. I think Mrs. Seidel, she cooks the best plate lasagna. And I don't know, we had a great year, and we thanked all of you for your support.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank all of you for coming out here this morning and getting up early. I'd like to thank my family and all my friends. And I'd like to thank Coach Snyder for getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning all summer to help me kick. And this has just been a tremendous experience for me and everybody that's helped us. And those two people right there, Don Story and Greg Profit, those guys have got a lot of guts because they knew they were coming out and hadn't played since 7th grade. And they knew they weren't going to get to play a lot, but they still came out. And they did a lot of hard work during the season to help us get ready for the game. And those guys are really what this team's all about, just coming together and working hard. Thank you.
It's a tough act to follow, I know. We're going to get rowdy here in just a little bit. Everybody stand up. Up you go. You got to realize this was written late last night, okay? And there's no excuse for not singing, okay? Because the guy leading this thing can't sing a lick. I want you to know that, okay? This little thing called Lord Bless Our Nights. Long version. I'm going to sing, you're going to repeat. Howdy, 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 ho. We enjoyed our trip down to the dome. My, did you see that crowd? Southwood Nights, you did us proud. Hey, hey, what do you say? We'll be back another day. Howdy, hi, we're not through. The Lord has blessed us all with you.
Celebrating, 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 huh. Celebrating, 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 huh.
We also have one presentation. Coach Seidel.
I think that there's only 3 types of teams you're going to find. And at the end of the game yesterday, we told the kids there's going to be teams that never compete for the state title. There's going to be teams that occasionally compete for them. And there's going to be teams that always compete for them. And the last 2 years, we moved from a group that occasionally competes for them to where we're going to compete for them consistently, okay? And the big part of getting us to being where we came out of, a 30 and 40 game losing streak and getting us in the right direction is sitting over here, and we do have a medal for Felix Chambers.
If you think Marshall Jones was a mess, you better watch. You know, it's been a long time ago, hasn't it? Every one of these guys were like my children down in the grade school. And I loved every one of them. The school, I've taught in a lot of schools. They ran me off from some of them. But I have come to love and claim Southwood as my home base, home school. The cultivation of this group of young men has been tremendous by a group of tremendous people. And this community should be proud of the fact that you have the ability to cling to such quality people as these coaches are, to work with such quality boys as you have put and students as you have given this community and this school. I'm proud to be a part of it, and I want to always remain a part. Sometimes I have to run Coach Finnicle down, or I have to pay my way in, and that's I just have really thoroughly enjoyed this opportunity that I've had, and I know that the people up here have been thoroughly entertained this year. As the principal said, they have put on a lot of good shows with a lot of good directors. Thank you very much.
I started off my debut here at Southwood in 8th grade, and coming with my real parents now, my mom and dad, Steve Turner and Diane. And it was kind of hard, and I can relate to him because this is my home now, and I love every one of you. Hey, let's keep this going all winter. There's no reason to let this die. No reason to let this die.
The Knights' trip to the Dome was more than a group of players striving for a state title. It was an unforgettable experience that unified an entire community.
First of all, from the freshman class, David Wiley, quarterback safety. Mike Wilhelm, quarterback safety. Jeremy Adams, split end cornerback. Javier Monta, tight end cornerback. Brad Gray, halfback linebacker. David Rigney, halfback linebacker. Ben Spiker, center tackle. Roger Radebaugh, center end. Justin Jones, tackle. Robbie Barton, fullback end. Doug Stout, split end cornerback. And now the sophomores. Chad Ball, tight end linebacker. Rodney Cox, fullback cornerback. Mike Gross, tight end defensive end. Mike Thompson, center end. Vaughn Moore, tackle. Chad Schiniger, fullback linebacker. Brian Weaver, Little Weave, tackle. Bud Carpenter, halfback linebacker. Jared White, quarterback safety. Chris Daniel, halfback cornerback. Ryan Sweet, slot back cornerback. Andy Marks, tackle. The juniors, Marshall Smith, slot back linebacker. Jeff Dye, split end cornerback. John Davis, guard end. Chris Keister, guard end. Derek Peebles, split end quarterback. Chad Dennison, center tackle. Scott Griffith, tackle end. Ryan Brainerd, guard end. John Setkoviak, halfback linebacker. Are you ready for some seniors? Don Story, fullback linebacker. Greg Profit, tackle. Brent Winnie, split end cornerback. Joe Duncan, slot back cornerback. Tim Moore, tight end linebacker. Mike Campbell, quarterback. Marshall Jones, guard. Troy Schaefer, halfback linebacker. Mike Glover, fullback linebacker. Student managers, Mike Spalding. Nathan Thompson. Junior high ball boys, Matt Wilhelm. Brian Campbell. The coaching staff, Mr. Kiefaber. 7th grade coach, Larry Winnie. The video man, Don Griffith. Team physician, Dr. James Duncan. 8th grade coach, John Livergood. Freshman coach, Rod Cole. Varsity assistant, Dave Snyder. Varsity assistant, Bill Preston. Varsity assistant, Ed Sheff. Varsity assistant, Terry Seidel. Head coach, Dave Wilhelm. Kristen Davis. Ani Fleming. Mary Fleming. Jill Graff. Aaron Blair. Angie Heath. Kara Heilman. Michelle Larsch. And Angie Marks.